Welcome to our new video series, A Beginner's Guide for Brands. What is embedded finance? In this video series, powered by Finastra, we speak to a series of experts to take a closer look at banking as a service, the scale of the opportunities provided by embedded finance, where it's already having an impact, partnerships, and actual use cases. Welcome to episode 4, A Beginner's Guide for Brands. What is embedded finance? In the previous video in this series, we looked at cross-border payments and the opportunity to deliver better outcomes through embedding those payments into the journey of end users. I'm delighted to be joined today by Neil Macro, VP, Managing Director, Sales and Marketing, Financial Messaging Marketplaces at Finastra. Mark Coratori, Vice President, Strategy and Solutions for Cross-Border Services at MasterCard, and Clark Russell, CEO of IBIS Management. Thank you to the three of you for joining me today. Neil, I wanted to start with you. Let's start with an overview of the new cross-border solution created by these three partners. And can you give us an overview of how that works and how you collaborated with these two organizations?
Yeah, thanks very much. I think if I just take a step back here, and first of all, I think it's worth setting the scene as to how the overall solution kind of fits into the Finastra portfolio. So within our Finastra financial messaging group, we created something which we call our marketplace. And this is what I would describe as a very carefully curated set of partner solutions that are fully complementary to our existing business offerings. So MasterCard is a key partner for us within our payment connectivity marketplace. And this allows us to provide something to our customers that we know they value very highly, and that's choice. With regards to IBIS, IBIS are a very long-standing partner of ours within Finastra and our financial messaging team as a resale partner and a key channel for us in the Caribbean, Central and South American region, for which we already have some 45 customers which are using our joint solutions today already.
Thank you very much for that overview, Neil. And I'd like to focus on some of the benefits that this new solution offers, particularly in comparison to the traditional networks, looking at measurements such as improved speed, efficiency, and transparency. So let's talk a little bit about the benefit to banks. And can we start with you, Mark, please, and then we can go over to Clark.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. So at MasterCard, we're known as a global payments network, right? So we looked at the assets we have and what's going on in the landscape, and we said, and particularly, what can we do in push payments that hasn't been done before, and how can we help our banks more or better compete with some of the new digital entrants that are coming in and taking away a lot of their business. So through a series of acquisitions and product development, we went out and we built a global cross-border payments network, push payments network that interconnects banks, mobile network operators, and money transmitter organizations. And that enables us to push payments to over 100 countries, to bank accounts, mobile wallets, and cash pickup locations, as well as MasterCard and Visa cards. And really going back to Neil's point around choice, that's what we're looking to enable. So we leverage local infrastructure that is native to the senders and the receivers, and essentially offer them better transparency, increased speed. We can send to bank accounts in real-time markets in 53 markets. So it's all about providing greater choice and convenience, while ultimately providing a better user experience for our banks and their customers.
And Clark, over to you, picking up on some of those benefits that Mark was outlining. What do you see as the benefits to banks in particular?
I think, thank you for the question. I think one of the important things. If you look at in the world of payments, typically it's the real-time aspect as well as the integration part, which is typically a headache. And for banks, these are projects that take a lot of time and a lot of effort to make it work seamless. And looking at the partnership and looking at how we bring this solution, because the MasterCard cross-border solution is a very strong solution because of the variety of payment types. So you have the person to person, but you have the person to business, business to person, all these aspects. And how that compares to the traditional railways is that you can we can easily integrate it because it is part of an existing Finastra rail that we offer to our clients. So the integration part is done really fast, and it complies with all the steps that typically banks have in place already for cross-border payments, making it easier to end these payments in the various countries that Mark just described. So ending it in these various jurisdictions is quite easy. And so bringing an additional angle of value to our existing clients. Yeah.
Great, thanks for that, Clark. And I'd like to shift the focus now to the end customer. Crucially, we need to focus on the benefits for them. Why are end customers choosing MasterCard over traditional correspondent networks, and for cross-border payments in particular? And what are the benefits to them for doing so? And I'd like to stick again with Mark and Clark. Mark, shall we start with you?
Absolutely. So I think banks are choosing us for the points I referenced before. Ultimately, they just want to provide a better customer experience or user experience for their customers. They see a lot of these new digital players that have come in and provided, really slick user interfaces that provide really great transparency and are easy to use. So like I said before, what we're aiming to do is really help our banks compete to both retain and acquire new customers. What the benefits that the customers see are greater transparency, speed, and to be honest, they don't even know that MasterCard's behind it. We are 100% white labeled. So it's actually an experience that the bank is providing to their customers, just leveraging MasterCard's technology and assets.
Yeah, if I may add, yes, if I may add, I think an important aspect is the fact that it enables now institutions to end the payment on a card or on a wallet, which if you look at traditional correspondent banking, it ends at a correspondent bank or the beneficiary account. And adding that to the as a benefit to the client is very, very important, very powerful, because it really makes it possible to send a payment to a card or to a wallet in another jurisdiction. It is a very interesting product or service. Yeah.
I think one other thing that I'd mentioned that this partnership with IBIS and Finastra has brought us is it enables us to target a segment of banks that's been largely overlooked. So the smaller banks, the credit unions, as well as a lot of banks in the Caribbean region have been de-risked. So we're really targeting those end users that for a long time have not had the quality of service or the speed and transparency that they would get from potentially a much larger institution.
Yeah, I think that's a great point around broadening access to these benefits for the smaller institutions that you reference. And finally, as we have all of you here, I think it would be great to focus on the benefits of partnerships and collaboration. This time, let's start with Clark and then go over to Mark. Talk to us about the partnership with Finastra and the value that created. And I know you've touched a little bit on it, but let's really focus on the partnership element.
Yeah, so the partnership between Finastra and ourselves for many years has brought technology and connectivity to the region, Caribbean as well as Central and South America, while being part of a what we call mission critical infrastructure for our clients. It now enables us also to tap into new new technology, new networks in an easy way for our clients. So it really adds tremendous value to what we have built up over the years, the relationship that we have with our clients and a technology partner that provides a smooth and reliable platform for the region. Yeah.
Great. And Mark, over to you. And if you could also touch on some of the early successes of the partnership, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So for us, it's aside from allowing us to target banks that we typically wouldn't target just because they don't have the financial or technical resources. It's really helped us get our banks into market and live much quicker than they would if they were doing the integration on their own by offering a pre-integrated solution. For us, it's all about how do we scale more quickly, right? So leveraging partners like IBIS and Finastra enables us to tap into their customer base and significantly reduces the level of development that's required on behalf of the bank because they're already connected to the Finastra and IBIS infrastructure. So in terms of early successes, we are fairly new to the partnership. So we have 2 banks that we signed in the Latin America and Caribbean region, the first being Bank of Nevis International, the second being Co-op Central. We've also signed another large bank in Egypt, Frexim Bank. And as a result of the partnership with IBIS particularly, we just signed a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, with the Caribbean Association of Banks. So yeah, we're very excited. Maybe Clark, you can speak a little bit more in detail about some of those clients and partnerships.
Yes, I think the MOU that you signed with the Caribbean Association of Banks is a very interesting one because it opens up a market of collaborative banks that are willing to join and want to join and are looking for alternatives to provide cross-border services to their markets and their clients. So it's a very good step in the right way to get the critical mass going, especially in the region. So yes, definitely a good step. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you to the both of you for really bringing to light, the power of partnerships and some of the tangible benefits and outcomes on the back of that. And finally, Neil, I want to go back to you and let's talk a little bit more about what challenges the solution that we've been discussing solves for the banking community.
Okay. Yeah, I think to sort of solidify some of Mark and Clark's points, and I think, again, we take a step back, we look at what Finastra's role here is, and I see it very much as one of an enabler or a facilitator. Effectively, we are providing the platform, which is via our total messaging product. And it's from here that we provide the customer with the access to that marketplace that I mentioned, and also that all-important ingredient that we've mentioned several times in choice. The MasterCard cross-border services solution specifically has definitely struck a chord with our clients. There's no doubt about that. For many of the reasons that we've already covered, such as reduced fees, increased speed and transparency, and flexibility of endpoints. I think where we believe we really add the value, and I think Clark touched on this to a degree as well, is on the integration point. So our customers can choose MasterCard's alternate payment rail for some, most, or even all of their payment corridors, but they can continue to deliver their messages to Finastra and to our total messaging product in exactly the same standard way and the same format as they already do today. It's the Finastra and our total messaging solution that will take care of the translation and the formatting and ensure the safe passage of delivery onto MasterCard's cross-border network. So I think we feel that this is a compelling case and a compelling argument for our customers to explore this as an option. And I think finally, I would say if you couple all of this together and add this to IBIS's local market expertise in the Caribbean, Central and South America, and MasterCard's extensive reach, and of course their reputation, I think you start to find that we actually have a real winning formula here.
Fantastic. Oops, sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
No, I was just saying I completely agree.
Yeah, well said, Neil. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, thank you to the three of you for really sharing with us your learnings around partnership collaboration. And as you said, the ability to deliver more choice across the ecosystem. So thank you to the three of you again, and thanks for joining us.